How you doing, ladies and gentlemen of the court? I'm just introducing myself. I'm James Votaw. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor. I had a arterial venous malformation in 2016 when Sawyer was 3 years old, and it took me out of her life. I made a lot of prior mistakes to that, drugs and homelessness. Just a real selfish person. And in 2016, I entered into the Orange County Superior Court Telecare WIT program, and that's where I was able to actually clean up my act, get off drugs, and really start progressing in my life. I entered that in 2016, but I had the brain aneurysm in 2016, so it pretty much knocked me off my feet, threw me to the ground, helped me give me a chance to rebuild my life from the ground up. I love my daughter very much. Like I said, I was very selfish with my ex-wife Cassie and Sawyer, with the drug use and the addictions and all that. I always chose that over my ex-wife and my daughter. I'm very, very sorry for that. I'm definitely a changed person now. I'm clean. I'm sober. I'm back doing pretty good in life. I'm just trying to have a little more time with my daughter. I missed the first 7 years of her life. I had that brain aneurysm when she was 3, and I came back into her life when she was 7. It took me about 4 years to really get myself going again. And when I saw her on her 7th birthday and she told me she missed me, was when I really got my act into gear and started working really hard to be back in Sober's life. Well, then December 24th, 2021, a good friend of mine, Ken Workman, we had paperwork from the court for mediation. He went over to Miss Valentine's house, knocked on the door for 45 minutes, and we heard our dog, King, that I bought Cassie a while back. He was barking really, really loud because there was someone at the door for so long. And then finally, Ken called me and said, King's not barking anymore. There's someone in the house. And that's when Cassie filled out a handwritten cease and desist order and called the police on my friend Ken Workman. And I guess when the police showed up, Miss Valentine handed the police officers a cease and desist order that she hand filled out from online. And the police officer said, do you know what this is, Ken? He's like, no. He's all, this is a cease and desist order. She's saying you're harassing her. And that's when Ken handed the police officer the signed mediation order from the judge. And that's when Ken served Ms. Valentine on December 24th, 2021. And he also delivered all the presents. I got Sawyer as the 24th. So he brought him over to give it to her for the 25th for her Christmas presents. And I guess after Cassie was filed with the court order, she was pretty upset about it. And she convinced Sawyer that I didn't buy any of those gifts, that people gave it to me. And just to give to her, which is incorrect. I went to the store and bought every gift. There were just some of them were kind of off because I didn't have contact with Sawyer for probably almost 2 years at that point. 2019 I had contact, and I didn't have contact again until 2021-ish. Her 7th birthday was the first time I saw her, and she said she missed me. That's when I really got my stuff into gear and started really working hard for Sawyer. Well, since then, 2019, I've been volunteering for the last 5 years, just helping every single person I can help. I help patients that are in these care homes with me. I help, people on the street, homeless people, because I used to be there. So every time I walk up to a homeless person and I ask them, I was like, do you need help? They always look at me where I'm at now and like, leave me alone. You don't understand what this life's about. You're an a-hole, da-da-da. And I show them pictures of when I was on the streets homeless, and they're blown away. They're like, how is this possible? And then I go one step further and I show them pictures of my brain aneurysm. And they look at me, they're like, this is impossible. And of course I tell them, Jesus was a big reason for me to get my stuff together. He changed my life. I know a lot of people aren't religious. Miss Valentine, Sawyer's not religious. But I am. I found Jesus, and he's completely turned my life around. And I'm trying to be a little more a part of my daughter's life. I was a really bad, selfish guy in the past. That's the only thing that Sawyer knows about me, and I've changed so much. That's why I'm requesting a little more time with my daughter. In 2022, when I signed the current order, I was diagnosed being incompetent by Dr. Daniel Ignacio, part of my brain injury survival, our recovery program. And Ms. Valentine subpoenaed that order and submitted it to the court and told the mediator, he's diagnosed incompetent. I told the mediator, I was like, no, I have a diagnosis of incompetent. And that mediator just says she's not writing a new contract. Ended the mediation. The next mediation, we went into the mediator. We're going to try to mediate and talk to each other. Cassie decided to do the mediation separately, which she's allowed to do in the court. She went in a room. I went in a room. I told the mediator exactly what I wanted, I would like. And Cassie automatically just said, I do not agree, which means we have to stick to the current order from 2022. I was diagnosed being incompetent before I signed that order. I only know this because Cassie brought it up. The doctor, Dr. Daniel Ignacio, I know him. He's part of my brain injury recovery network. I let him know what was going on, and he was very, very upset that she pulled that file and used it against me in court. And he said that, her attorney needs to take it out of the court or to call him. He's only 1 year post-doctorates, and he has to be 5 years to be post-doctorates to be an expert witness. So he's asked Cassie's attorney, Mr. Vrisco, to pull that from the court proceedings, and he hasn't done it yet. Mr. Vrisco and Ms. Valentine always submit stuff to the court, and they always serve the other party by mailing it to my old address, 8925 Canary Avenue, which I moved out of that address 3 years ago in 2021. So I don't get anything that they submit to the court. I've talked to Mr. Vrisco, emailed him several times asking him to update at the court because it won't change at the court until he's notified of the new current address. I've done it several times. I've gone to court probably 15 times with my friend Taylor, and it still hasn't been changed. So it's getting really, really frustrating. I really feel like Mr. Verisco's really trying to take advantage of my brain injury, and it's kind of discrimination against me. So I love my daughter very much. I want her to get to know the person I am today because the person I used to be was a very, very bad person. I'm not that person anymore. I really want my daughter to know who her father is today and how good of a man he is and be proud of him. But I can't do that with, Cassie, Miss Valentine telling Sawyer all the bad stuff I used to do. That's the thing. It was 10 years ago is when I did this stuff. People change. I'm not asking, Cassie to forget. I'm asking her to forgive me for what I've done. I know it's going to be hard because I've done so much bad stuff to them, but I'm not that person anymore. I've worked really hard to be back in Sawyer's life. I haven't stopped. I love my daughter. I want her to know who her father is today. I want her to be proud of me. So I'm just asking the court if you could possibly consider extending the times. Like Sergeant Taylor Patrick and I had season tickets to Disneyland. Miss Valentine and Sawyer had season tickets to Disneyland. I asked Miss Valentine, I was like, would you mind if we go to Disneyland where Sawyer will just naturally have fun and we can have a meeting there? Kat said, no, we cannot do that because it's only a 1 hour limit for the visitation. Sawyer's asked for more time and more things several times, but Kat always says, no, the visit's over, we're done. So it's really heartbreaking to see Sawyer cry when she's asking for more time with me and Miss Valentine telling her no over and over again. I worked really hard when we were at Huntington Beach Library. Me and Sawyer played tag for an hour, had a great, great visit. At the very end of the visit, something blew me away when we walked back up to Miss Valentine. Sawyer said, Mom, can I please have 10 more minutes with him? And of course, Cassie's like, no, the hour's over. You know what time it was at 45 minutes. The visit's over. And Sawyer's starting to speak up for herself. No, I didn't. I didn't have a phone or a watch. Can I please have 10 more minutes? And Miss Valentine's like, no, the visit's over. And of course, Sawyer's like, just joking around. Well, then you need to buy me a puppy. And Miss Valentine said, I will not negotiate with terrorists. Sure, this is a joke. This is because Sawyer's asking for 10 more minutes with me. She has built Sawyer over the last 10 years to hate me. And Sawyer has. But I'm back in her life, and I'm working really hard to be back in her life. I just want a little more time with my daughter. I love my daughter with all my heart, and I always have. I made some mistakes, but I'm so sorry for them. I try to make up for them. So if you will, Your Honor, please allow more time, or maybe just a new agreement where Sawyer and I can have more time. Maybe an order for me and Sawyer to go to therapy so we can talk it out, because these 1 hour visits a month is no time for me and Sawyer to just sit and talk and figure things out. She's a little girl. She wants to play and have fun, and that's what I want to do with her. But we do need therapy. We do need to be able to talk it out. So maybe one visit a month and one therapy session a month where we can start rebuilding our relationship again. We've done a lot over the last 3 years, but I just want more time with my daughter. I really love her. I've been through a lot, and I just want to be a part of her life. So if you could please grant that, I'd be so appreciative. I mean, I've been through so much medically, physically, all kinds of stuff. I'm recovered now, and I love my daughter. Thank you.